Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ramadan Mubarak. I want to talk today about the second juzu of the Quran, and it's going to be a little long because this is a very loaded juzu. It all falls in Surat Al-Baqara. We're still in Surat Al-Baqara in chapter 2 of the Quran. It starts with ayah 142 and finish with ayah 252. So let's dig deeper in Surat Al-Baqarah in Juz' 2 of the Quran. Since we're in the month of Ramadan, the fasting month, I decided the highlight of this Juz' will be the Ayat 183, 184 and 185, the Ayat that command Muslims to fast the month of Ramadan. I encourage you to read those ayat in Arabic, in English, in whichever language, to understand them, and if you can also memorize them. Great ayat 183, 184 and 185 of Surah Al-Baqarah starts with يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. That the fasting was commanded on you, believers, as well as the believers before you. That fasting did not start with Islam. The purpose of that, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, you may achieve the taqwa. That is the purpose of fasting. The next ayah, أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَاتٍ, it's specific days. فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر, that if you cannot fast in some other days. وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين, and for the people who cannot fast is the ransom, the fidya. فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. End of ayah 184. That means that fasting is better for you, and this ayah was revealed even before the second year of the hijrah when fasting become mandatory, become fard. But this ayah, to the most of the scholars, was overridden in the meaning by the very next ayah 185. The meaning of that the fasting is optional and it's better if you do so. Next ayah says شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. شهر رمضان, those أيام معدودات become شهر رمضان. Those are the days that you should fast, you must fast. It's the month of Quran. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن, the month that the Quran was revealed in, or started being revealed in Ramadan. Why? هدى للناس, guidance for mankind. وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه. Whoever attended the month, that month of Ramadan, must fast it. That is the part that scholars think that it override that optional fasting in the previous ayah. فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر. Some other days, if you miss any days, same meaning. يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر. The purpose of Ramadan is never the usr, is never the hardship, but it's the meaning of Ramadan. ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة. Finish those days. ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم. Say Allahu Akbar, do the takbirat for Eid after the iddah, after the month is over. ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون. You appreciate the ni'mah. That is another purpose of Ramadan. And next ayah, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. If my servants ask you about me, I am close to them. And Allah did not say that, tell them that I'm close, because He doesn't want any messenger between His servant and Him. That is very unique about Islam, that you don't need transportation with Allah. if you ask about Allah, He's close to you more than what you think. فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. I answer the dua whenever I am asked or prayed for. When it's not a matter of if, anytime that you ask me or pray for me or make dua, I answer. أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. So what we should do? فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي. So let them answer my call. Allah's calling us to make dua for Him. فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي, and believe in me. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. I'll take you back to the beginning of the second juzu. It starts with ayah 142. The first three ayat, 142 to 145, talking about changing the qibla from the Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem to Mecca to the Masjid al-Haram. And the reason for that, remember the timing, that Muslims already praying, now they started building the masajid. Now they're building the masajid in the Medina and changing the qibla, and Islam is being in congregation, the jama'at. So now things are being settled as a society to start praying for the qibla that we still pray toward to is Mecca. And after that, the ayat 146 to 153 talking about something very related about the relation between the direction, the Masjid al-Haram and Islam. You know, that's how the ayat is, because that is the Masjid al-Haram that was built by Ibrahim and Ismail, or by the angels in two different narration, and that's about Masjid al-Haram and Qibla and Islam. Ayah 164 is a very beautiful ayah. I encourage you to read it in Arabic and in English, the meaning of the ayah. It says, إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار والفلك التي تجري في البحر بما ينفع الناس وما أنزل الله من السماء من ماء فأحيا به الأرض بعد موتها وبث فيها من كل دابة وتصريف الرياح والسحاب المسخر بين السماء والأرض لآيات لقوم يعقلون. This ayah mentioned a lot of the ayat that proves that Allah is one and capable of everything. And there is a hadith about when this ayah particularly was revealed, that when the previous ayah 163 was revealed, وَإِلَهُكُمْ إِلَهٌ وَاحِدٌ, you have only one God. لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ الرَّحْمَنُ الرَّحِيمُ. The non-Muslims in Mecca said, how so? How can one God catch up for all what's happening? So the answer came in the hadith, this ayah 164 that comes after it in Surat Al-Baqara, that if you think of إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, in the creation of the skies and the grounds and the earths and the اختلاف الليل والنهار, changing of night and day, الفلك التي تجري في البحر, the ships, how they flew in the sea and for the benefit of the people, وَمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مِن مَاءٍ, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send the rain and make the ground live and it just produce even after it's dead. وَبَثَّ فِيهَا مِن كُلِّ دَابَّةٍ, all the animals that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created for the benefit of the humans and the environment. وَتَصْرِيفِ الرِّيَاحِ وَالسَّحَابِ الْمُسَخَّرِ, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the wind and the clouds that make the life possible on earth. All that is just a proof for قوم يعقلون. If you think about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He must be one and one God for all of this to create all these great things, subhanahu wa ta'ala. One more great ayah in this great, and the whole Quran is great, is 177. Ayah number 177 talks about the meaning of the birr. Birr is righteousness in English, but I see the meaning of birr is way different in Arabic. Birr is like doing far above and beyond. Is not just to pray the basic, is how to excel, if you will, in your ibadah. So it's very important ayahs related to Ramadan. Read ayah 177 in Arabic and in English, please. It says, ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب. البر, to achieve that excellence, it's not about turning your face toward east or west, meaning praying, just praying. And that is good, you must pray, but it's not the way to achieve the birr. ولكن البر, but the birr is, what is the birr? من آمن بالله, believe in Allah, واليوم الآخر, and the judgment day, والملائكة والكتب والنبيين, believe in angels, all prophets, and all the books. وآتى المال على حبه, and give the money with happiness, not that find it tough to donate. وآتى المال على حبه, to whom you should donate. ذوي القربى واليتامى, your relatives. واليتامى, orphans. والمساكين, the weak-minded. وابن السبيل, anyone that's traveling and got lost or cut from the source of income. والسائلين, who's asking for help. وفي الرقاب, to free up slaves. وأقام الصلاة, and praying. وآتى الزكاة, and paying zakah. Did you notice how paying the money and taking care of all these kinds of people was mentioned before, mentioning the salah and the zakah? And it could be zakah, but it's just to emphasize how important to give with goodwill to these people. وَآتَ الزَّكَاةَ وَالْمُوفُونَ بِعَهْدِهِمْ, whoever keep their word, whoever is trustworthy. إِذَا عَاهَدُوا, whenever you have a deal, whenever you sign a contract, you sign a treaty, you must stick to your word. وَالصَّابِرِينَ فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ, those who are patient in good times and in bad times. وَحِينَ الْبَأْسِ, and even at the crisis. If you consider that we're in crisis now, that we must be patient in the good time, in the bad time, and even in crisis, facing crisis. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا, those are the people who believe. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقُونَ, those are the muttaqun, the people that achieve the taqwa. Read this ayah, it's very beautiful, and if you can also try to memorize it. Ayah 177 of Surat Al-Baqara. And now we reach the ayat that I highlighted in the beginning, the fasting ayat, the Ramadan ayat 183, 184, 185, and then ayah 186 is about the dua, and it came in the middle of the ayat of fasting, telling you how important it is to do the dua in Ramadan, how relevant the dua in Ramadan. And then continues 187, 188 is talking about Ramadan and fasting. And immediately ayah 189 comes to say, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْأَهِلَّةِ, they're asking you about the moon status, the ahilla, the moon. So why? Allah answered, قُلْ هِيَ مَوَاقِيتُ لِلنَّاسِ وَالْحَجِّ, it's about timing, it's for the calendar, and it is to rely on it for Hajj. Look at how they mentioned after Ramadan to tell you about the importance of the calendar and how the Islamic calendar, if you call it, or the lunar calendar, is talking about the things in place. Next ayah is talking about Hajj, till 196, 197, and it talks about the details and how there is Hajj that is mandatory and the Umrah that is wajib or Sunnah mu'akkada, confirmed Sunnah, and the details of the Hajj in these ayat. And it talks about what you should and shouldn't do in the Hajj. And I'm not going to go through this, but if you're going to Hajj later after Ramadan, inshallah, in the Hajj season, I encourage you to read these ayat even if you have a guide. And then look at ayah 215. I'll take you fast forward to ayah 215, where it says, يَسْأَلُونَكَ مَاذَا يُنْفِقُونَ. They're asking you what they should be paying, like sadaqat. The answer is, قُلْ مَا أَنفَقْتُمْ مِنْ خَيْرٍ. Anything extra that you want to pay, فَلِلْوَالِدَيْنِ, for your parents. Don't give the strangers before your parents if they need money. وَالْأَقْرَبِينَ, relatives. وَالْيَتَامَى, orphans. وَالْمَسَاكِينَ وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ, weak-minded, and the people who need help far from their home. وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ, any good that you do, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ بِهِ عَلِيمٌ, Allah knows it. That's ayah 215. And the very next ayah is so relevant to our time. It says, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الْقِتَالُ وَهُوَ كُرْهٌ لَكُمْ وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُوا شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ وَعَسَىٰ أَن تُحِبُّوا شَيْئًا وَهُوَ شَرٌّ لَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Very important ayah. عَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُوا شَيْئًا, you might hate thing and it is good for you. And you might love thing and it is not really good. It's bad for you. It's شَرٌّ لَكُمْ. Why? Because Allah told you. He provided the answer. وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Even in the time of pandemic or something that it's very hard to be good, there is some good happening and somehow that we do not know, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one that knows what's going on. Ayat 226 to Ayat 237, talking about the divorce and the relation between man and woman. This is something about everything in Surat Al-Baqara. And in the middle of those ayat, ayah number 233, start with وَالْوَالِدَاتُ يُرْضَعْنَ أَوْلَادَهُنَّ حَوْلَيْنِ كَامِلَيْنِ. How Allah directed the woman to nurse for their babies for 2 Gregorian years or 2 full years, if you will. That's very important. And the next ayah, 238, I'll take you to 238, very important ayah. حافظوا على الصلوات, keep the salawat, all the salawat. والصلاة الوسطى, the middle salah. In the tafsir, scholars have 2 famous opinions, that the middle salah is Asr, if you start counting from the Fajr, or it is the Maghrib. I go with the Maghrib. The majority of scholars believe it's Maghrib. Whatever you believe, it's not important. The important thing, it's in the eloquence of the Quran, where sometimes, many times, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the generic thing and then the some of it as confirming that keep the salawat, all the salawat, but also keep the middle salah. And he could have named it by Salat al-Asr or al-Maghrib, but subhanahu wa ta'ala decided for us to keep all the salawat and find which is the middle salah. The middle salah by the number is Maghrib because it's 2 or 3 or 4, or by the revelation. The first salah that Muslims prayed was Dhuhr, and then Asr, and the third one was Maghrib. Or if you start from the beginning of the day, the Fajr, then that is where the Asr is the Salat al-Wusta. In either case, you must keep the Salah, is very important ayah. I'll take you to the ayah 247 and 48, 247, 248 and 249. Those ayat till the end of this juzu, talking about what? Talking about the story of Jalut and Talut and Dawood alayhi salam. the Prophet Dawood, who become in charge of Bani Israel. Why is that? Remember, Surat Al-Baqara started talking extensively about Bani Israel, about Jewish. And I explained in the previous juzu how it's relevant to Muslims living with Jewish, sharing living in Medina. So now is telling them when Jewish had a country, when they were with Dawood, and how did they do, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded them to follow a certain person, and they had doubts about it, all that. But the very last ayah that I want to leave you with in this juzu, and I encourage you to read it in Arabic, is 250, that when the Muslims with their Prophet Dawood, yes, I call them Muslims, Bani Israel, they're following Dawood, and then they are with Talut, وَلَمَّا بَرَزُوا لِجَالُوتَ وَجُنُودِهِ, when they saw the big army of Jalut and his army, what did they say? They said a very beautiful dua. قالوا ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. Repeat this dua in Arabic and read the meaning and the story in English, and I will leave you with this end of the second juzu. If you like this video, we have another video coming next day for the third juzu of the Quran. That is the remaining of Surah Al-Baqara and some of Surah Al-Imran. So stay tuned, like this video please, and share with your contacts, and subscribe, and I will see you inshallah.